Hi, I'm Debra Meiburg, and I'm with Sam Weaver of Churton in Marlborough. So tell me what's happening in Marlborough. Seems like you're really staking out some interesting subregions.
I think the key thing is to moving up into the hills. We talk about ourselves being in the southern hills, and for us, the reason we went there is we were looking for a really individual, special terroir where we could produce really good Pinot and really good Sauvignon Blanc, and slightly different style, something where texture becomes much more important, texture and length.
Now I hear a lot of talk about texture and Sauvignon Blanc coming out of Marlborough. How do you define texture?
That's a really good question. How technical do you want me to get?
Go for it, go for it.
Okay, texture for me, it derives from fruit concentration, fruit weight, means keeping yields down, keeping the water availability down, so that gives you that initial extract in the grapes. Then to layer onto that, you've got elements of hand picking, which retain some of the solids in your wine, and then aging wines on things like these yeast lees. So you build up the polysaccharides, and all of those longer chain molecules contribute to texture and really the slipperiness.
For a long time, Marlborough was just, anything from Marlborough was immediately identifiable, say by its grassy vibrancy.
Absolutely.
Where do you think the style is headed for the region?
For the region, I think what's happened over the past maybe 5 years is there's been this vast explosion of vineyards in Marlborough, but what that's doing is giving us the opportunity to extend styles in all sorts of different directions. So you've got people like me who are producing wines with more texture, length and minerality, and moving away from just that grassy herbaceousness, but and focusing much more on the ultimate fruit, but also a bit of depth and longevity. That exploration that we're doing at Churton. And then you've got some other styles where people are throwing all sorts of things at it and saying, okay, well, let's have an oak age style, let's do some malolactic. To be honest, for Churton, that's maybe not such not a direction we want to go in. I want my wines to be really integrated in a whole rather than having lots of what I call noise going on. So you've got this gradual separating into people who are really specialists, really focusing on quality, and then right down to people who are producing really
Quantity. Tell me about lifestyle at the winery. Do you have dogs? Do you play music? How can I imagine it?
A bit of both. We have two lovely dogs, two sheepdogs, of course, being in New Zealand, who love our property. We're very fortunate. We've got a mixed property. We run our vineyard biodynamically, and that means that. So we actually have a farm with animals. We have a polyculture, not a monoculture. So we keep cattle, and I love cattle. Cattle is such wonderful,
and they don't eat grapes.
Rounded. No, they don't eat grapes. Well,
they might bash into a few vines.
They graze around the outside of the vineyard. We do graze them in the vineyard in the winter, but not during the season. So we have that, and music. Yeah, we have all sorts of things going on. I mean, I'm not a real muso. I'm not particularly musical per se, but I've been trying to learn to play the piano and just recently just to keep my hands working. Do all sorts
in the
of
winter,
things. Yes, exactly. And when you're pruning in the winter, then your hands start stiffening up. And as older you get, the arthritis starts getting in. So playing the piano is actually really, really good.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. I hope you have a lovely glass of Pinot in your hand while you're playing.